Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We're studying lesson number 21, and this is the second part. In the first part, we studied about Jumla Shartiya, Aslubu Shart, Adawatu Shart, and now we're gonna study the second part. So the second part, which is Aslubul Istisna, the style of exception. When we're gonna make some exceptions, so we're gonna study how we make such exceptions in Arabic. Here are some examples. Tuluha khamsata ashara karnan illa kalilan. Its length is 15 centuries except a little, I mean little less than 15 centuries. So Kalilan is making exception on 15. So Asharhu, the explanation. The explanation is Tuluhu khamsata ashara karnan illa kalilan. Ma mana hazihil jumlati. What is the meaning of this sentence? Manaha anna, its meaning is that Tulal Maktabatil Arabiyyati Khamsata Ashara Karnan, that the length of the library, the Arabic library, is 15 centuries. Walakinnana nastasni min hazihil kuruni bazaha, but we make exception from these centuries by a part. Kalilan mean by some part of it we are making some exception, that they are not full 1500 years, there is some exception. Hazal bazu huwa kalilun min al waqti, and that some part, that some is the little time, that the part of the centuries is the exception, which represents that qalilun min al waqti, a part of a little time. Ma is masmu hazat tabiri, what is the name of this expression? Ismuhu uslubul istisnai, its name is the style of exception. Uslubul istisna. Ma mana istisna, what is the meaning of istisna? Manahu annal baza la yantabiku ilayhil kanunu allazi yantabiku alal kulli. Its meaning is that on the part la yantabiku, so this is the verb, intabaka yantabiku, to apply, form 7. So its meaning is that on the part that we are making an exception, the law that applies to the whole does not apply on the part. For example, when we said Tuluha khamsata ashara karnan illa kalilan, so that means its length is 15 centuries. So the length which applies on 15 centuries does not apply on part of it, kalilan. So this is the baz part, which is the mustashna, which is the thing accepted, and this is the whole from which this exception is made. So this part is called the whole, al-kullu, which is called in Arabic al-mustasna minhu, and the part that is taken out from the whole, or we can say al-baz, the part of it is called al-mustasna. So al-mustasna is the part that is being taken out of the whole, which is al-mustasna minhu. So these terms that we need to remember is the whole is called al-mustasna minhu, and the part of it that is being on which we are making exception is called al-mustasna, and the tool used to make such exception, which is illa, is called adatul istisna, the tool for istisna, the tool for exception. So normally a jumla for exception will have these three parts. وَهَلْ كُلُّ هَذِهِ الْأَجْزَاءِ مَوْجُودَةٌ دَائِمًا. Now the question is that in all the cases these three parts should exist. La, no. فَأُسْلُوبُ الْإِسْتِثْنَاءِ أَنْوَاعٌ. The style of the exception, they are different kinds. Anwaun, they have kinds. Number one, indama yakunu uslubul istisnai bihil ajza ul kamilatan yakunu ismuhu al istisnau tamu. So the one is that when the istisna, when that sentence, the exceptions, then that sentence has these three parts, is called istisnau tamu, the complete exception. So when there are three parts, we call it istisnau tamu, the complete exception. And indama yakunu uslubul istisnai laysa manfiyan yakunu ismuhu al istisnaul musbatu. And when there is when that style has no negation in it, is called al istisnaul al musbatu, the positive exception. So in this sentence, that is not a negative sentence, so we can say this sentence is al istisnau tamul al musbatu. Nara fil amsilatil mustasna mansuban farhal huwa mansubun daiman. So the question is that the exception, the mustasna here is mansub, so is it always mansub? Naam, yes. Fil istisnai tamil musbatu yakunu mustasna mansuban daiman. Yes, so when the sentence is like this, the complete sentence, complete istisna, and is positive musbat, then the mustasna is always mansub. That is what it means. Okay, so that is one kind where we see all the three parts and is positive. The sentence is positive, musbat. So in this case, the mustasna is always mansub, qalilan here. Now here are some other cases here. There are some examples. Lam yakhuz kitabun fin nakhwi shuhratan alamiyatan. So no grammar book took the worldwide fame illa kitabuhu or kitabahu, except his book. Lam yurattab mujamun hazat tartiba. No dictionary is organized in this tartib, in this we can say structure. Illa mujamma or illa mujamu al-ain. This is the name of the dictionary. Lam tansha kullul ulumil min al-Qur'ani. Not all the sciences have produced or come out from Quran. Illa al-ulumu or aluma diniyatu wal lugawiyatu, except the science of the religious or the linguistic sciences. Those came out from the Quran, not the other sciences, ulum. So in these three sentences we see we are given two options. One is with mustasna is mansub, and on the other one is actually a marfu here, and is actually marfu on all these three cases. So why is that? And we also see that these sentences has all the three parts, al mustasna minhu, and the mustasna and this is the tool. So we see all the three parts here. But we also see that these three sentences are negative sentences starting from lam. هل ترى في الأمثلة أسلوب استثناء? Do you see in these examples the style of istisna, exception? Naam, yes. وهل هو استثناء تام? And is this the complete istisna, like has three parts? We see that, yes. Naam. وَلَكِنَّهُ مَنْفِيٌّ, but they are negative sentences, like I said, starting from lam. وَهَلْ مَانَا هَذَا أَنَّ عِنْدَنَا نَوْعَيْنِ مِنَ الْإِسْتِثْنَاءِ تَامِ? Does it mean that the istisna tam has two kinds? The first kind was positive sentences, like this one, where the mustasna is always mansub. So the question is, out of their two kinds, one is musbat and the other one is manfi. Yes, naam, al-istisna tamu musbatu, al-istisna tam complete musbat, and al-istisna tam manfi, negative. Arafna annahu fil istisna tamil musbati, and we now know that the isna is in istisna tamul musbat. For the case of musbat, yakunu mustasna mansuban daiman, that the mustasna is always mansub. فهل نفس شيء في الاستثناء تامل منفي, and is it the same thing for istisna tamil manfi? The question is, should this also be mansub, which we see some options, not always, and those options were not there for the case of musbat. La fil istisna tamil manfi indana hurriyatun. In the case of istisna complete, that is negative manfi, we have hurriyatun, we have the freedom. Yumkinu an nakula, it is possible to say that we say mustasna mansub. So in these cases, in these sentences, we can either make mustasna mansub or badlun minnal mustasna minhu, or we can substitute it with the i'rab of mustasna minhu. So in other words, we have an option here, either to use the mustasna in mansub form, or we take the i'rab of mustasna minhu, like kitabun, mojamun, kullu. So we can take which are marfu, we can make them marfu, or we can make them mansub. So we have a choice here. ففي المثال الأول يمكن أن نقول, so in the first example, ولم يأخذ كتاب في النحو شهرة عالمية إلا كتابه. So like in the case of this first example, either we use kitabahu with mansub, mustasna mansub, or we can say ولم يأخذ كتاب في النحو شهرة عالمية إلا كتابه, or we can use kitabahu or kitabuhu, because this is the substitute for mustasna minhu. So we have the options here, badlun min kitabun marfu, because the mustasna minhu is marfu, so we can also use it marfu, wa hakaza, and so on. So that was the second kind. So we studied mustasna tamun musbatun, and then mustasna tamun manfiyun here. So mustasna tamun musbatun, the mustasna is always mansub, and for the case of mustasna tam manfi, we have an option to make it mansub, or we can use the i'rab of the mustasna minhu as a substitute, badlun min kitab marfu, if it is marfu. And there are another kind. We have some examples here. lam tanshal ulumul fikhi wal hadisi wal falsafatil islamiyati illa intilaqan min al qur'ani. The sciences of jurisprudence, fiqh and hadith and falsafa, philosophy of Islam was not did not produce illa except intilaqan min al Qur'ani, except coming from out of Quran. Means these three sciences or knowledge, they have come from the Quran. So if we remove illa and we remove lam, because this is negative and this is negative, this will mean that the sciences of fiqh, hadith and falsafa, Islamic philosophy, they are they have come out from Quran, or literal meaning is they did not come out except from Quran. So the exception and the negative, they can be removed and the sentence can be made positive. Here in talaqan, the verb is in talaka yantaliku, form 7 to start. So this is maf'ul mutlaq, and then we can say illa in talakat in talaqan. So this is omitted, so it's just leaving in talaqan. So this is called maf'ul mutlaq. We have studied that before. So here illa, we see just the two parts, we don't see the whole, we just see the two parts, the tool of exception and the exception. So these two things. Another example, la yarifu zalika illa al-arabiyyu, no one knows that except the Arab. So this is the negative sentence, so we can make it positive, like if we remove this these two negative, so negative and negative, they make positive. So if we remove this negative, they remove this negative, we can say that the Arab know that they only the Arab, they I mean he knows that. So again there are only two parts, that exception, the adatul istisna and the istisna. So here is the explanation. Hal tara fil amsilatil usluba istisna, do we see in these examples the style of istisna? Naam, yes. Wa hal huwa istisnaun tamun, is this the complete istisna? Like, does it have the three parts that we studied, which we don't see, we only see two parts. La, no. Fama huwa, so what is that? Huwa istisnaun naqisun lianna al mustasna minhu laysa majudan. This is, so this type of istisna is not tamun, is not complete, is naqisun, is incomplete, because it does not have the mustasna minhu. So the mustasna minhu is not part of the sentence, so is not complete, is naqis, and is also negative starting from negation. So this is also manfi. Wa hal huwa istisnaun musbatun, is this a positive exception? La, no. Huwa istisnaun manfiyun, isn't, in this case huwa istisnaun naqisun manfiyun. So this is istisna naqisun manfiyun. Wa kayfa yakunu i'rabul mustasna fi hazihin nawi, so how we can, what the i'rab of the mustasna gonna be on this kind? Yakunu al-mustasna fi hazihin nawi hasba wazifati fil jumlati lianna, so in the mustasna in this kind, the i'rab is as the function of the sentence, lianna, because annafi yulgi istisna, because the negation, so this verb is alga yulgi, to cancel, because the negation cancels the istisna. Like I said, the negation cancels the exception, so then it becomes a positive sentence. So then the mustasna gonna be based on the i'rab in the sentence, because this is coming as maf'ul mutlaq, so is mansub. Arabi, here this is coming as a file, so this is marfu. So this is just simple, that whatever the i'rab on this word would be in the sentence, that is going to be the i'rab of the mustasna. Because in this sentence the negation is cancelled by the istisna. وفي المثال الأولي نرى انطلاقا وهي مفعول مطلق. Like I said, this is مفعول مطلق, so that is why is mansub. وفي المثال الثاني نرى العربي وهي فاعل. That عربي, this is file, so that is why the mustasna is marfu. So this is the summary of all that we have studied. Maza nafamu min kulli haza. But we understand from all this aslubul istisnai, the style of istisna. Uslubul istisnai yatakawwanu min salasati ajza'a. The style of istisna is formed from 3 parts. Al mustasna minhu, the whole. Adatul istisna, the tool. Illa. Well, al mustasna al juz, the part which is that is that is the part that is that where the further exception is made. So is the mustasna, the part of the whole. And then uslubul istisnai salasatu anwain. The style of istisna exception has 3 kinds. Number 1, tamun musbatun, complete and positive. Musbat means kullu ajzaihi mawjudatun, all the 3 parts are present. Walaysa manfiyan, and is not negative sentence. Fi hazihi no yakunul mustasna, and in this kind the mustasna is mansuban daiman, is always mansub. So in this case the mustasna is always mansub. Now complete tamun but manfiyun, kullu ajzaihi mawjudatun wa manfiyun, all the 3 parts are present but the sentence is negative. Wa fi hazihi no yumkinu an nakula, and in this kind it's possible to say mustasna mansubun. So we have a choice here to either make mustasna as mansub or badlun min al mustasna minhu, or we can make a substitute from the mustasna minhu. So we have the options here. And the third part is naqis, man is manfi, bidun al mustasna minhu wa manfi. So that sentence, that kind does not have this part, only has these 2 parts, and is also manfi. Wa fi hazihi no yakunu al mustasna hasb wazifatihi fil jumlati. So in this kind the mustasna will have the i'rab of as in the function, as of its function in the sentence, because the istisna is cancelled from the by the negation of the sentence. So that was about uslubul istisna. The next is uslubu ta'ajjabu, the style of the exclamation. Here is an explanation, here is an example. Ma awsal maktab al arabiyyata, how vast is the Arabic library. And we see in these sentences the exclamation mark, the sharhu, the explanation. Ma mana hazihil jumlati, what is the meaning of this sentence? Manaha anna mal maktabat al arabiyyata wasiyatun jiddan jiddan. This means that the Arabic library is very, very spacious, very vast, spacious. Wa annani ata'ajjabu min haza, and that I am surprised about that. So that is so big that making me surprise, giving me a surprise. Wa kaifa fahimna haza, and how we understand this. Liannana istakhdamna uslub ta'ajjubi, because we use the uslub ta'ajjub, we use the style of the surprise. Wa kaifa namalu uslub ta'ajjubi, so how does this the style of the exclamation or this ta'ajjub, how does that work? I mean, what is the structure of these sentences. So nastakhdimu, we use, the first part is ma. So ma is the first part, and then awsa, this is the second part, which is fe'lu madin ala wazni afala. This is the fe'lu madin on the pattern of afala. Afala is form 4, so this will always come in the past tense as afala, just like awsa min as-sifati allati nata'ajjabu minha. And this will describe the sifa that is making ta'ajjub in it. So that is what is making creating the surprise, the vastness of it. And then where this surprise is being created, in the library, al-maktabata, so that is al-muta'ajjabu minhu. So the three parts, ma, and then this is fe'lu madin on the pattern of afala, and al-muta'ajjabu minhu. So to understand this, we call it double fatha rule. So leave ma separate, so these two will always have fatha, ma awsa'a and al-maktabata. For example, ma ajmala as-samaa, ajmala on the pattern of afala, and as-samaa, just like al-maktaba, has a fatha. So this is called double fatha rule. How beautiful the sky is. Walmana, and it means ayu shayin azimin, any thing that is azim, great, jal al maktabata wasiyatan ila hazihi darjata, means what a great thing that is making the library spacious to that extent, to ila hazihi darja, to that level or to that extent. Wa kaifa yakunu irabu hazal uslubi, so how we do the i'rab for this kind of uslub style. Nakulu, we say ma. So what is ma? Is ismu nakiratun mabniyun fi mahalli rafin mubtada. Ma is mubtada, ismu nakira fi mahalli rafin. Awsa, like I said, is fe'lu madin mabni wa fa'iluhu dhamirun mustatirun taqdiru huwa yarji'u ila ma, it returns to ma. And maktaba is maf'ul bihi mansubun lil fi'li awsa. Mansub is because it's maf'ul bihi of the fi'l awsa. And then these two combine jumla fi'liya, awsa al maktabata hiya khabru ma fi mahalli rafin. So this becomes khabru ma fi mahalli rafin. So that is the brief summary of aslubut ta'ajjabi. Huwa tariqatun khasatun, so this is the special method litabiri anit ta'ajjubi, for expressing the surprise. Wa nastakhdimu lahu tarkiba, and we use it in the tarkib or the arrangement ma af'ala. So ma af'ala and the noun with the al. Just like this, you take this simple example, ma ajmalas sama. So the noun has al and ma and ajmala on the pattern of afala. So this is the tarkib. Ashayyu al muta'ajjabu minhu, and the thing ashayyu al muta'ajjabu minhu. So this al is the noun, that is al muta'ajjabu minhu. So that is, I mean, this is the thing from out of which the surprise is made. So ashayyu al muta'ajjabu minhu This is called this al, and the noun is called al shayyu al muta'ajjabu minhu walahu irabun khasun, and it has a special irab. The next one is uslubun nada, the style of nada or calling. So here are some examples. Ya duwaliyu or duwali, ya amir al mu'minina or amir al mu'minin, ya rajulu or man, ya ayyuhal alimul kabiru or great scholar. So now we are studying talking about the particles, about the sentences for calling, and we see that we are using ya here. Maza tara fi kull amsilati sabiqati, what do you see in all these examples, previous examples? Nara nadaan, we see that we are calling different people. Wa kaifa yakunu nada'u fil lughatil arabiyyati, how the calling is done in the Arabic language. نستخدم أداة النداء في اللغة العربية يا. So we use ya as the tool for calling in the Arabic language, and وبعدها المنادى, and after this is munada is the one you are calling. Question is هل يا فقط هي أداة النداء في اللغة العربية. Question is ya the only particle that is used for calling in the Arabic language? La walakinnana nadrusuha fi hiya faqat fi hazihi sanati. So the writer is saying this year we only studying about ya. Wa yumkinu aidan an namala nada bidunin adatin, and it is also possible to do this function of calling without the using any tool. वलाकिन्नना नरा नदा अनवान फिल अमसिलती, but we see that the nada, the calling, has some kinds in these examples. Hazihi laysat anwaan nadai, these are not the kinds of the calling, bal hiya halatu irabil munada. But these are the conditions, these are the halat of the irabul munada. So this is not the kinds of the calling, but these are the irab of the munada, means that the irab of the munada, we see that they are changing, and these are not different kinds. فَمَا هِيَ هَذِهِ الْحَالَاتُ, and what are these halat and what are these conditions? So now these about 4 sentences we're gonna study what are those conditions. So the number 1 is ya duwaliyu. So this is called al munadal alamul mufradu. So this is al munada proper noun. Just like saying ya Muhammadu ikra, O Muhammad read. So here the example is ya duwaliyu. So this is the proper noun, the name. Yakunu mabniyan ala lamati rafi fi mahalli nasbin. So this is mabni with the sign of rafa in place of nasab. So this is the name. So in place of nasab, this is the sign, because this is the alam. So this is mabni and with the sign of rafa in place of nasab. This one. And the second one is ya amir al mu'minina. So this is mudaf alayhi, the amir of the believers. So in this case yakunu daiman mansuban, so that in this case when we have mudaf alayhi, if we calling somebody with the structure is mudaf ilayh, then this part is gonna be mansoob, just like we're saying here Amir al Mu'minina, not Amirul, Amir al. So it's gonna be mansoob always. And the third one is Munada Nakiratul Maksudatu. So the third is Ya Rajulu. You are calling a man you know, or you are in front of him, you are seeing him. So that is Maksuda, means that is the person intended. You want to call a person, you want, that is the intended person you want to call, and is nakira. So although the person is specific, you are calling a specific person, but is comes as a nakira. Yakunu mabniyan ala alamat rafihi fi mahallin nasbin. So this is the same way, is the alamata with the comes is the mabni with the sign of rafa in place of nasab. So I have some explanation here. So an-nakira al-maksuda, the word is technically indefinite nakira, but because of your eye contact it behaves like a definite marifa, proper noun. So the word, although you're calling a specific person, but the word is nakira, but it behaves like a definite proper noun. So this was the nakira maksuda, the person that you intend to call. But what about a person that you don't know, like a blind man? If a blind man is calling some person, he won't know who he is calling. So in this case, he's gonna say, Ya Rajulan Khuz biyadi, oh man, hold my hand. So that is gonna be mansoob. So this is not mentioned, but because this is Ya Rajulun, Ya Rajul, but here for the case of nakira, okay, so if it is Garul Maksuda, then it's gonna be mansoob. Ya Rajulan Khuz biyadi, oh any man, hold my hand. So just remember the difference. And the fourth kind is al munada al marifa bi al. Now we calling somebody with al. So how that's gonna work? Nastakhdimu qablahu ayyuha. So we use ayyuha for lil muzakkari, for masculine, or ayyatuha for feminine. So ayyuha we're gonna use for masculine and ayyatuha for feminine. So in actually the particle ya, the calling does not go directly with al, so we have to introduce ayyuha or ayyatuha. Ayyuha for masculine, ayyatuha for feminine. So this is alim is the masculine, we have used ayyuha. Yakunul munada huwa ayyu or ayyatu. So in ayyuha or ayyatuha, ayyu is the munada, masculine or feminine, and harfu litambi, ha is called harfu litambi, wal ismu allazi nuridu nadahu, and ha is the ism, the noun that we want to call. Yakunu badlan min ayyu or ayyatu, that is the substitute for ayyu or ayyatu. So in other words, ayyuha, ayyatuha. So like if we take the same example, ya ayyuhal alimul kabir, alimul kabiru, you cannot attach ya directly with al, so we use a bridge of ayyuha, ayyatuha. There is an exception that we can use ya with Allah, which has al, so that is the only exception. Okay, so maza nafhamu min haza, what we understand from this? Uslubun nadai, the style of calling. Tarkibun khasun, أستخدمه عندما أريد أن أنادي شخصا. This is the specific arrangement that I use when I want to call a person. ويتكون من أداة النداء والمنادى, and it is of two types, two parts. The tool of the calling and the munada, the one you are calling, like adatu nadaya and the person you are calling. So these are two parts. Adatu nadai hiya ya wa hunaka adwatu nukhra, and the tool for calling is the ya, and there are other also. Waqad nunada duna adatin, and we can also call without this particle which we have not studied here. Walil munada halatu irabin mukhtalifatun, and for the munada there are different halatu irabin, for irab there are different conditions that we have studied in those above 4 examples. Okay, so that completes the technical part of this lesson. Before we do study the main lesson, let's also do some i'rab. So tuluha khamsata ashara karnan illa qalilan. So what type of sentence is this? We studied this, al istisna'u at-tamul musbatu. So this is the complete istisna, has the 3 parts. Tulu is the first part is the whole is khamsata ashara karnan, and illa is the tool for exception, and qalilan is the mustasna. So mustasna minhu and mustasna. So al istisna at tamul musbatu, and we, for the case of musbat, we studied that the istisna is going to be mansub, which we see here. The mustasna is going to be mansub. We see that here, qalilan. So this is jumla ismiya starting from a noun. Al mubtada tulu, al khabar is khamsata ashara. So tulu is mubtada plus mudaf, ha is mudaf ilay, and khamsata ashara is the khabar. Karnan is tamiz. We studied tamiz already. So tamiz is kalimatun tabayyanu lana shayyan mubhaman qablaha. So tamiz is the word that specifies for us something not clear, obscure, something which is not clear. So that clarifies that ambiguity before it. And wahiya tukunu adatan badal mikyayisi, and this comes after the measurements or the numbers. Just like its length is 15. So what 15? Karnan, 15 centuries, 1500 years. So this karnan is clarifying the ambiguity that comes here. So it's called tamiz. And illa is adatu istisna, the tool for istisna. Qalilan is mustasna. So in tuluha, tulu is mubtada marfoon wa lamatu rafi ad-dammatu zahira, has a damma, and then it's mudaf, and ha is damirun mabniun ala sukuni fi mahalli jarrin mudaf alayhi, and khamsata ashara is the number. Adadun mabniun ala al-fathi juz'aini fi mahalli rafin khabar, and this is the number is mabni ala al-fathi juz'aini, of 2 parts in place of rafa, because this is coming as a khabar. And karnan is tamizun mansubun walamatun nasbi al-fatatu zahira, and we studied tamiz that it is mansub. And illa is adatu istisnain mabniyatun, and this is the tool for exception and is mabni. Qalilan is mustasna mansubun walamatun nasbi al-fatatu zahira, and because this is positive and tamun, so is the mansub. Mustasna is mansub, and is mansub with the sign here is fatatu zahira. The next one is la yarifu zalika illa al-arabiyyu. The Arab knows that, or no one knows it except the Arab people, they know it. So this is the again the istasna, but this is naqis, it does not has mustasna minhu and is also la manfi. So in this case we said that la will cancel illa and then the remaining sentence will behave normally. So this whatever the function of this word is in the sentence, it will carry that i'rab. So here it is file, so that is why is marfu. So al-fi'lu, the verb is yarifu, arafa yarifu, and harfu la yataghayyaru al-i'rab, the particle la does not change the i'rab. And the file is arabiyu is the file, zalika maf'ul bihi, illa is idatu istisna mulghatun. So this is the particle for istisna and is called mulghat, which cancels the negation. So i'rab is la harfun nafin mabni, yarifu fi'lun mudarun marfun walamatu rafi ad-damma, zalika ismu ishara mabni alal fathi fi mahalli nasbin maf'ul bihi, and illa is adatu istisna mulghatun mabniyatun, and al-arabiyyu is fa'ilun marfun walamatu rafi ad-dammatu zahira. That is simple. And then this the exclamation one, ma awsal maktabat al-arabiyyata, what a spacious Arabic library is. So that is the ta'ajjub, uslubu ta'ajjub. So the i'rab is ma ismun nakiratun mabniyun fi mahalli rafin mubtada, this is mubtada. Awsa fi'lu madin mabniyun alal fathi, awsa is fi'lu madin and is fi'lu madin is mabni alal fathi, and file is the mirun mustatirun takdiru huwa, the file is hidden here and the estimation is huwa. Al maktabata maf'ul bihi mansubun walamatun nasbi al fatatu zahira, and arabiyyat is the sifa mansubatun walamatun nasbi al fatatu zahira. And then we said ma is the mubtada, we didn't see the khabar, so then we can say wal jumlatu fi'liyatu, the whole sentence, the jumla fi'liya, awsa al maktabat al arabiyya, this whole sentence becomes khabar for mubtada ma fi mahalli rafin. So that completes this the i'rab section. Next time we're gonna start from the main lesson, and then we're gonna do the exercises which will complete this lesson and this book. So I'm going to stop it here now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.